This is the weekend we return to Standard Time. On Sunday, November 6th at 2 a.m., Manitobans will gain 1 hour and the actual time will be 1 o'clock. Have you ever questioned why we even have daylight saving time? Or better yet, how did it all start?
Well, it seemed to have started in 1915 in Germany during the First World War, where the Germans were trying to conserve energy during the wartime, and many other countries followed almost immediately after. Britain, Canada, other countries who were involved in the conflict moved their time back to daylight savings time to conserve energy, mostly as a war issue. After First World War, it seems to have stopped, and then it started again with the Second World War, and then it's been a bit of a hodgepodge since then.
Whether we spring ahead in March or fall back in November, the move has an impact on everything. And because the time change occurs on a Sunday morning, guess who is usually the first to feel the effect?
Well, when it comes to spring, as obviously it's spring ahead, then we have people that seem to want to sleep in a little bit longer and show up either during the service or show up right at the end, which is not uncommon at all. Fallback during fall, well, then actually surprisingly they show up on time and we can actually start the service on time. But we have people actually coming earlier and going, oh man, I forgot that I should move my clock ahead and or move it back. And particularly in fall now, they show up and well, then it's sit around and have some coffee and we go from there.
So in spring, can you literally expect there might be 1 or 2 pews empty when the sermon starts?
1 or 2, how about 10 or 12? Yes, people just kind of get caught up in that and yeah, literally come in quite a bit later.
The tradition started in Manitoba in roughly 1916, and it's the provincial government who decides whether or not to continue with this act. There's been much debate over whether turning our clocks has any negative effects on one's health.
There's not any real research or evidence to suggest that there's any significant health effects for changing the clocks. I mean, I do think that people who suffer from the seasonal affective disorder, it's just wintertime. You know, the northern hemisphere is further away from the sun, and that's going to cause a problem, but it doesn't really have to do with the clocks changing.
But don't think humans are the only ones that notice the change.
On our dairy farm, we milk 13 hours and 11 hours apart. And for us, what we do is in the fall time, we switch our clocks back in the afternoon. So the cows gain an hour in the afternoon, so that pushes it to 12 hours. And that coming into the morning time, they don't have to wait an extra hour to milk. So they keep their same schedule there. And then in the springtime, what we do is we will switch our clocks after our evening milking time, pushing them forward. Therefore, the cows, again, don't have to wait an extra hour or lose an extra hour as milking goes on.
Just a reminder, daylight saving time ends Sunday at 2 a.m. If you're like most people, you'll change your clocks already Saturday night before going to bed. If not, well, you may receive a painful reminder Sunday morning when you arrive at church an hour early.
Welcome here.
Reporting for Steinbach Online, I'm Shannon Dewick.